Welcome to the 72nd Annual WSWA Convention and Exposition. And we are here with this year's national champion of the Call for Entries cocktail competition, Chris Chamberlain from Philadelphia Distilling. Hey, Chris.
Hey, Tobin.
Good to see you, man. Good to see you
as
again.
always.
Yeah. Welcome back to the winner's throne.
Yeah, so this is the third time I've had a chance to win a trophy here, which
This
is
should be
truly an honor.
This should be the Iron Throne from Game of Thrones
No,
or something,
not at
I
all.
think. I don't know.
If you saw the competition is up there, and you know a lot of the gentlemen up there, like Troy Clark and Lynn, I mean, that's a hefty panel of people to be up there, and it's an honor to actually come out on top.
How many competitors did you beat out to win this award?
I'm not sure how many entries there were in total, but I know that Tony picked 12 of the cocktails that he thought would showcase best.
Okay.
And to come out on top of that 12, and like I said, if you saw those cocktails, if you saw who was competing, trust me, I'm kind of humbled out of that.
That's fantastic. And you're with Philadelphia Distilling now.
Philadelphia Distilling now. Yes, I formerly with Charmer Sunbelt, but
Okay.
Philadelphia Distilling approached me. They're building a brand new distillery in downtown Philly.
Blue Coat Gin.
Blue Coat Gin.
Which is the
phenomenal.
base spirit you used in your winning cocktail, and that's what we
Yes.
want to know about. So tell us about the cocktail and tell us about the gin.
Okay, so let's start with Blue Coat.
Okay.
Citrus forward gin, but we're one of the few gins that are out there that actually came out with a barrel finished gin. So I used the barrel finished as part of my cocktail. When you barrel finish a gin, it kind of brings forward the botanicals a little bit, and you get this crazy vanilla flavor at the end that makes it similar to a whiskey in some
Sure.
sense. So I had an account in Philadelphia ask me to create a tiki style drink. And I said, okay, there's a little bit of vanilla and pineapple work extremely well
No-brainer.
together. So I took fresh pineapple juice, I lightly hickory and mesquite smoked it.
Now, how did you smoke it? Did you actually go out and smoke it on a grill? Did you use a smoker?
No, I just used a smoker and I smoked it within the bottle.
So you used a smoking gun, you put your fresh pineapple juice in a
Indeed.
bottle, and then you basically put the smoke in there and let it infuse into the pineapple.
Indeed. Exact process that I used. There's a little touch of lemon juice just for additional acid. I used honey as a sweetening agent. The secondary spirit that I used was Montenegro Amaro. And kind of like my secret...
So hot right now.
It is. It's phenomenal, though. The kind of secret ingredient of all those things was a lot of people use egg white, and I use Greek yogurt. So Greek yogurt is one of those interesting things that you've seen playing around with a little bit, but it adds this like great creaminess to the cocktail. It actually creates something similar to that like beach-style smoothie of a drink that you would get
Gotcha.
without blending the drink in any way,
That's
shape, or
great.
form.
Now, you said there's a lot of citrus notes in Blue Coat.
So the traditional Blue Coat's very citrus forward, but what happens with the barrel finish, I like to say it's like Bizarro Superman, where that's citrus forward, the barrel finish becomes like this spicy juniper forward. So it is like the reverse of what traditional Blue Coat would be.
So it's the Solomon Grundy of
Solomon Grundy is a good
gins.
one.
I love it. All right. Fantastic. And what's going on with the garnish? Did you actually grill your pineapple there a little bit?
Yeah, I did. I just covered it in some sugar in the raw, grilled it out to kind of play off that smokiness. I tried to look at it as if I was on the beach and I was next to a campfire, what are the smells and what are the drink that I would like to have? And that was the inspiration within the drink.
Well, that's great, because that's a really important part of designing drinks that I don't think we talk about a lot, is those sensory memories.
Indeed.
And trying to help people evoke that sense of, oh, when I was in Hawaii, or when I was in Peru and I had this pisco sour. So that's really great that you got the smoke out of that and still the sort of beachy tikiness of it. I love smoking drinks.
I do too.
Absolutely love it. That's why I was curious about how you smoked the syrup. What did it take for you to be able to put this together for the competition in terms of getting it all here? I mean, did you do all this prep back in Philadelphia? And
No, I did a lot of the prep here.
Okay, so you brought a smoking gun?
I brought a smoking gun. My torch got taken, but Troy Clark, who was part of the competition, honorable man, allowed me to use his torch while I was here. The prep for it, I think a lot of the prep was, how do you not overthink the garnish? How do you make it simplistic, but yet complex enough that, you know, it truly is a beautiful cocktail?
Well, you definitely nailed that. And what's with your straw here? You got a...
So I cut down a paper straw, just
Okay.
kind of add that tikiness to it.
Yeah.
From Sweden, I ordered some nice decorative metal coasters. It just kind
Oh,
of adds
that's
that extra.
your coaster too,
That is
huh?
my coaster as well.
Look at you, all fancy.
Yeah, trying to get all fancy.
That's great.
And then that simplicity of just the 2 pineapple fronds, it just adds that extra layer of height and just a phenomenal, kind of makes the pineapple pop in some way, shape,
So
or form.
what do you think this means for you and for Blue Coat to win the WSWA Call for Entries cocktail competition? I mean, what is this event about for you, and what do you think
It's always an honor to come here and to be with gentlemen like yourself. And if you saw the panel of judges when you have like Eric Hay and Nick Nistico, I mean, those are in our industry, that's a solid group of human beings to be in front of.
Oh, a bunch of jokers.
What are you talking about?
Eric Hay was just a joker
Indeed.
at a Words
oh,
cocktail
yeah, from
party.
the Words Cocktail thing.
Yep.
But then you see the people that you're competing against. It means a lot for a brand to be showcased in this light. I mean, to be interviewed on television and have the brand, especially a brand like ours. I mean, we're a craft distillery. We're not the larger brands. It is a craft spirit game, which is becoming highly difficult because there's craft distilleries popping up everywhere. So to be here and showcase your brand and be in front of people, and for me to win an award, it's a phenomenal aspect for the brand.
That's great. And why did you guys decide to call it Blue Coat Gin, and what's the connection to London gin and being in Philadelphia?
So everything's known to be London and English in the gin category. When we created Blue Coat back in 2006, I believe, when it first came out, we wanted to look at it as an American gin and being the winners of the Revolutionary War, defeating the English. We don't want to go up against the English entirely and say that we're going to beat you at your own game, but we wanted to create like an American style gin and something more towards the American palate. As you may know, like there's a lot of gin drinkers out there that don't like the pine needle and juniper punch to the face that a lot of them get. So to be something more citrus forward and honor American history and the blue coats rather than being the red coats of the English.
It's okay to make fun of the British.
It is,
it's
in
great.
some ways.
I mean, we beat them.
Yes.
Let's celebrate it.
So
Let's wave the flag.
And being from Philadelphia, and we're the birthplace of America, we wanted to honor that heritage in some way and say that we are the birthplace of America. You know, George Washington, those guys, they were the blue coats, so let's honor that history in some way, shape, or form.
That's a great story.
It is. It's a phenomenal story.
What would you say to competitors for next year? I mean, what do you think are the keys to standing out in this field, or what are the mistakes that you think that people make that prevent them from being able to sit in the throne like you're doing right now?
I think the mistakes are people overthink cocktails. They add way too many ingredients to drinks. Tony always touches on this when the competition's going on, but a lot of people think they can just submit a drink and it will do what it does. But to actually hire somebody, a great bartender, you know, have a mixologist within your staff, you know, that goes a long way. And you know our community, you know, if you know how to speak the language, you know how to develop a great cocktail, you make it simplistic, that it's inviting to everyone, those go a long way in this industry.
The recipe doesn't make the drink. When I won this competition about 6,000 years ago, there was a lot of people that just mailed in their recipes, and you know, having someone else make the recipe, it just doesn't work. You need someone who understands something as simple as, oh wow, you know, when I made this smoked agave nectar, the agave nectar that I got had a little less viscous, and that's going to throw off the viscosity of the whole drink, so now I need to figure out how I'm going to balance that out. That's not something that inexperienced people can figure out on the fly.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're totally right.
You're a bar chef, you know, there's a science to it. You need balance. There's multiple aspects to it, and you just can't throw ingredients together and pretend like it works.
Plus, look at those little char marks right there on the pineapple. That's no rookie stuff right there.
It's not.
That's some expert grilling right there. And you even went right down to the tiki toothpick, the little bamboo toothpick. That's phenomenal. Well, so what's next for you here at WSWA? What else do you have going on now that you're the champion?
Well, this year is the first year that I'm not competing in the Iron Mixologist, so I want to go and support those guys.
But you already won that.
I won Best Aperitif 2 years ago. The year that I won Best Aperitif, I think I won the only category that Eric Hay didn't win. But having gentlemen like Nick and Kat Miltenberger and Sly Kosmopoulos, I mean, you have to go over and watch those guys work. It's an honor to be on the stage with them over the past couple years, but I'm greatly appreciative that now I can sit back and watch them work for once.
And are you going to sneak away and do anything fun while you're here in Orlando and at the JW Marriott?
I'm going to find as many Blue Coat cocktails as I can drink around Orlando and do as much stuff as I can just to experience the area.
Well, I don't know, maybe a Blue Coat butterbeer might not be a bad idea, because I'm definitely going to head over to Harry Potter World, and I think maybe even the Star Wars thing.
Okay.
So let me know if you want to come, and we'll have to find you a crown and a scepter.
I don't need a crown. I don't have enough hair for a crown.
No, it'll look great. Or we can just go the Lex Luthor route with you.
We'll go the Lex Luthor route. I like that.
That fits back to the old Bizarro kind of thing. All right, Chris. Well, thanks so much, and congratulations.
Thank
really.
you so very much.
It's great to see you again.
Indeed.